Hi everyone. Welcome to my channel. My name is Raven and welcome to 5 Minute Bible Study where we are here to heal and grow closer to our Lord Jesus Christ. Thank you so much for coming. I want you all to go ahead and hit that like button. And at the end of the video, if you want to share it to someone they think needed or think might want to see it. So let's go ahead and get into it. Chapter 16 in the book of Psalms. I say to the Lord, you are my Lord. I have no good apart from you. As for the saints in the land, they are the excellent ones, in whom is all my delight. The sorrows of those who run after another God shall multiply. The drink offering of blood I will not pour out, or take their names on my lips. The Lord is my chosen portion and my cup. You hold my lot. The lines have fallen for me in pleasant places. Indeed, I have a beautiful inheritance. That is the book of Psalm, chapter 16, verse 1 through 6. And we have some questions here. Let's see. It says, if setting boundaries, such as saying no to someone's request, makes you uncomfortable, why do you think that is? Do you feel guilty if you don't do what other people want you to do? Or do you think God expects that from you? So first, the first part of the question is what makes you uncomfortable with telling someone no? I feel like sometimes what makes me uncomfortable when telling somebody no, let's say they did something for me and Um, I guess I feel like I'm in a position where I can, but I really can't, which I really shouldn't. But they know that I have the money or the means to reciprocate to them. Sometimes I might say yes because I'm like, well, they help me, so it's my turn to help them now, isn't it? And majority of the time, sometimes God is telling me no. Or like give them like another option. So sometimes it is hard for me to say no, especially if I know that they have already done something for me and I feel like it's my turn to reciprocate. So yeah, that's one instance. But I know I do need to set more boundaries um, with others and myself with certain things. Sometimes I find myself, I'm like, ooh, um, I shouldn't be posting that. I shouldn't post that. Or I shouldn't say that. So yeah. But do you feel guilty? Yeah, I feel guilty sometimes when I say no. Or when I say yes, even I feel guilty. I'm like, I feel guilty with God. I'm like, God told me no, but I'm sitting here doing it. But I feel like I'm supposed to do it. So yeah. Um But the next part of the question says, "Do you think God expects that of you?" Or that says, "Do you feel guilty if you don't do what others want?" And do you think God expects that from you? Mhm. Yes, I think I'm reading the question right. I think God expects us to set boundaries because if we don't set boundaries for other people and the people in our lives, then people are just going to run all over you, or you just gonna end up feeling drained and overworked or used. So definitely saying no sometimes definitely helps, or giving the other person another option. Like, oh, maybe I can give you like half of that. Like, say somebody asked for $150. I'm like, well, I can give you half of 150. I mean, and then because I have it, but I don't want to give you all of it, you know? So, yeah. Another question says, how are sorry, how has your lack of boundaries hurt you? It ended up leaving me stressed or used or um feeling like, dang, Raven, why did you just say no? Now you stressed out because you gave them all your money and now you don't have what but $20 left. So even though they said they're gonna pay you back at so and so date, but you gotta pay this bill, you know. So yeah, it hurt me before. And it says, can you examine your life to see how healthy boundaries would have protected you from unnecessary pain? Yes, yes. I definitely want to change for the future. I'm setting boundaries, even with people around my child, setting boundaries in that way. I know a lot of parents, a lot of mothers are scared to set boundaries, even with, sometimes, grandparents. Sometimes grandparents aren't so good to be around sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes. But not saying my grandparents, but my son's grandparents, but other people's grandparents, they might not be a good influence for your child to be around, especially if their grandparents doesn't like their mother or if it's the father there, But yeah, setting boundaries is really important, especially for children. So if you learn how to set boundaries with yourself, you'll be able to set boundaries for your children and save them hurt, from getting hurt. Another question says, what boundaries might God be calling you to put in place in your life? I had to think about this. I've been thinking about this because I read this last night. Um, Setting boundaries with my child. God definitely setting boundaries with my child. And me, I'm not gonna get into detail, but yes, just setting boundaries with him. And I feel like I've been doing a good job too though. So maybe it's something else. But I feel like that's what it was in the past, setting boundaries with that. Now, I'm going to go to the apply section and read some of what they have there in this book. I want y'all to go get this book. It's so good. I've did all these pages. It's amazing. And I really want to finish this by the end of the year, but I don't think so. Probably like by my birthday. My birthday January. Maybe. Ugh. If I do 3 a day, like you're supposed to really do 1 a day, but I do 3 because of how I do my devotional. I do one in the morning and middle of the day. So right now, and at night before I go to bed. It keeps me, reading my Bible. But it says somehow many of us have gotten confused about the necessity of boundary lines. We assume that Christ commands to lay down our lives for others, and do what people request of us. We seem to think that God expects us to let others trample over our time and energy, taking whatever they want. But boundaries are necessary for our emotional, spiritual, and even physical health. They not only help us to keep out danger, but they also allow us to protect the resources we have within us, including our relationship with God. With God's guidance, we can learn to set boundaries that will define the pleasant places where we can grow, the territory of divine inheritance that will allow us to find safety and refuge. Then, when God calls us to venture out beyond these lines, we can act with strength with all our God given resources available for our use. So I really want you guys to practice boundary setting and, putting that in place because it's very, very, very important to protect yourself and your spiritual health and also your physical health. So if you guys have any boundaries that you feel like you need to set, put them down in the comments if you feel comfortable sharing them with us. Yeah, so I want you guys to post down in the comments what you believe you need to be setting boundaries with, or even if it's with yourself. So I want you guys to challenge yourself, even if you have to write some stuff down. It might be a long list of things. You never know. I'm not judging. I am not here to judge. Okay. But I want y'all to share this with somebody that you think might need it, or share it with on TikTok, Instagram, so I can build my followers, so I can create more content for you guys. So I love you and peace be with you. Bye.